Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. All right. Today is Thursday. We got another Haunting Adeline episode for you guys. My goodness, has that been getting a juicy. Our last episode last week left on a cliffhanger. Man, that sucked. But hey, we're back. We're here on Thursday. We're concluding. Let's get to it, man. We're almost done with this book. I think I got about 2 more weeks. Yeah, it's going to be 2 more weeks and then we're done with this book. My goodness, it's been a roller coaster. I believe there is a book 2 to this. I'm going to look into some stuff. I'm going to do some research and there might be a continuation to this book. We don't know. If there is, we might continue that. Either that or we might start a different book altogether. I kind of want to start a different book altogether, and then, when we finish that one, we can come back to this book and revisit it and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not sure yet. Please leave me a comment, though. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you want me to start another book, or do you want to continue Haunting Adeline? Because Haunting Adeline is great. It's super good. You guys are loving it. I'm loving it. And it's great to go through these stories with you guys. So let me know what you guys want to do. I would love to do a new book. But at the same time, I have no problem sticking with this one because we're so invested in these characters. It's at a point where I'm just like, dude, we've spent damn near 5 months with these characters. We started the book back in January and it's already May now. So we've spent 5 months with these characters, just really getting to know them and their story and how they connect and, Gigi's shit and, Zayd's side of everything and whatnot. And I mean, the cliffhanger that we got left on was absolutely just bananas. Absolutely bananas. The fact that they brought out a little girl and was just like, received. You're like, what? Nigga, what? So my biggest thing is I'm excited. We're going to check this out. We're going to get it going. But, what we do for that? We do have a thread before we get into Haunting Adeline. So let's get into that thread. Today's thread is, what is something you could say both at dinner and during sex? All right. So let's see what you guys can both say at dinner and at sex. Very nice, honey, but I still prefer Five Guys. Yo. Oh, okay. All right. Wow, that's saltier than I expected. I mean, them nuts be salty. I hope you don't mind, but my roommate is going to join us tonight. Yo. What? No. No. I mean, unless it's a thing where it's a dude, 2 girl style thing. Man. That's a guy saying it to his girl, and it's just like, yeah, my roommate's gonna join. That would be outrageous. That would be outrageous. There's no way. It's good, but it isn't as good as your mom's. Yo! You can't say that. Bro, you can't say something like that. No. That's asking for fucking annihilation, bro. If you keep looking at your phone, I might as well just not be here. Oh. That must be weird. How in the hell are you on your phone during sex? What? Okay. Don't just stare at it, eat it. Hey, facts. You know what I mean? Facts. Whoever finishes last cleans up the mess. Oh, my God. Careful, don't choke. Hey, that fits in the theme of the Haunting Adeline book. My ex used to come here a lot. Oh, for a guy, That's just that's 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 detrimental to hear. You'd be like, what? Oh, nah, man. Why such a small tip? Oh, man, it's not how big it is, how you use it, man. Come on now. I thought we knew that. Let's see. How much money should I leave on the table? Yo, come on, man. Oh, time to put a load in the dishwasher. This nigga. Okay. All right, bro. This is terrible. Can we just order a pizza and pretend we didn't just try something weird that only you like? Oh, imagine if a girl just stops you in the middle of sex and is just like, oh, you know what? Can we just order a pizza or something? You know, because I'm tired of doing this. I would be like, what? Dude, that whole time you're just in the middle of that movie, just crying, bro. You're just crying into your pizza. I couldn't be talked to like that. There's just no way. Here comes the aeroplane. Oh my god. He takes his penis and he's just oh my god, bro. Oh man. Are you gonna finish that? All right. There's more of this than I expected. Oh, okay. I like it a little pink in the middle. Facts. I mean, come on now. Oh, Jesus. Tell the violinist to go away. He's starting to bug me. Okay. All right. I'll have what she's having. Okay. I like my meat rare, but this is too bloody to eat. Oh, bro. You can't say that. Come on, man. Like, come on, man. You can't. Nah. Like, see, I'm all about smashing a girl on her period. I talked about that last episode, but I ain't going down there to eat. Nah, man. I'm sorry, but my parents won't be able to join us tonight. No. No. Come on, man. This nigga said this tastes like shit. No shit, bro. It's a butthole. Come on, man. You'll have to blow it first. I get that one. Okay. Let's see. Don't try to swallow it all at once or you'll choke. Facts. Let's see. Oh. Boy, it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. Damn. Talk about shot in the dark. You're just like, that one hurt. Okay. Kids in Africa are starving. You better finish it. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Cream pie was worth the extra pounds. Wow. Okay. Let me see. Oh, what the? Grandma's choking again. What? Okay. All right. Delicious, just like grandma's. Bro,
Bruh.
what is up with y'all and grandma's? No. Come on, man. I can't eat anymore, Mom. Oh my God, bro. Some of you are just ridiculous. Oh my God. There's another one. Thanks, Mom. Why?
Bruh.
Come on, man. Dad, you can give me the cream. No. Oh, no. Come on, dude. Jesus, man. Yes, I'll have seconds, Uncle Bob. God damn it, bro. What? Let me see. Okay, just a random. You ruined my life, Jessica, you filthy whore. All right. Okay. I mean, yes, you can. You can say that at dinner and during sex. Yes, you can. Oh, that didn't fill me up at all. Oh.
Bruh.
Oh, that, yeah, no. Oh, it's got mold on it. What? Oh. No. Why? What? This is good, but not quite like grandma's. What is you guys' obsession with? No. You can't say that. Oh, come on, man. Jesus. This nigga said, keep the change. Oh, my God. Gee, oh, God. Wow, Dad, this tastes great. Come on, man. You got a little something on your chin. Oh, Jesus. Let's see. We'll try to find at least like 2 or 3 more. What? This is gonna make my pee smell funny later.
What?
I don't. Okay. I mean, I understand, as far as like if you eat asparagus, it makes you pee. Well, for some people, it makes you pee stink. But I don't know how you would equate that to sex. But sure. All right. I want a divorce. What? Imagine in the middle of sex, she's just like, I want a divorce. And you're just like, what? Huh? Huh? Let's see. I'm gonna probably look for one more. A lot of them are the same. There's more grandma ones. Y'all niggas are crazy. Let me see. Oh, God. My asshole is gonna hurt tomorrow. Ay. Okay. Well, a lot of them are more of the same, and they didn't really get too original with it. You outdid yourself this time, Mom. These niggas. All right, bro. No, man. Absolutely not. Well, that thread wasn't as juicy as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, a lot of it was kind of the same. There was some good ones in there, but there was not a lot of good ones in there. We only really got, so much, but it's all right. We're going to get right into, I'm going to shoot through announcements and then we'll get straight into Haunting Adeline. We'll waste no time on this episode. Patreon.com/Am I the Asshole podcast. Get on there for an exclusive episode every single Friday. That we get an episode on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. If you love what we're doing over here, please keep supporting. If you're an audio listener, rate the podcast and download it. 5 stars is preferable. If you are enjoying the show and you don't really have time for a full show, you check out us on Instagram as well as TikTok, and check out the clips that we have over there. We clip up every single episode and we put them over there. TikTok has been a little weird, and I kind of am hating TikTok right now because there would be sometimes I'll have really funny fucking clips, and then TikTok's just like, no, it's our guidelines. I'm like, fuck you guys. So it is what it is. But we try to make it work. So go over there, follow us, check us out over there. If you want to help even more on the free 99 side of things, youtube.com/My Asshole Podcast. Get over there, subscribe to us, and check us out. Subscribing does help, even if you don't watch over there. All right. Without further ado, let's get into Haunting Adeline. The last we left off, we had, I believe it was chapter 36. I'm hoping that's correct. It should have been 36. Daya and Adeline, they were looking more into Gigi's stuff as far as like who killed her, whatnot. They went up to the attic. They found a bloodied watch. Daya's like, yo, I can get like the blood tested and we can get that going. So we're kind of getting close to finding out who, murdered Gigi, and that's going to be pretty exciting. We're going to find that out and see what's going on with that. And then on Zayd's side of things, he got invited to this guy's house, and he's like a well-known child trafficker and all that kind of stuff. So he's there, and he's infiltrated. He's in their house. He's ready to cap up these niggas because they just brought out a little girl from the kitchen talking about dinner is served. And it's like, what? So we about to see what happened to all, what our boy Zayd is going to get into, as well as, how the things with Gigi and all that kind of stuff are going. Today is going to be chapters 38 and 39. So without further ado, let's get into that without hesitation.
Chapter 38. The Manipulator. All the information Daya and I have gathered so far is splayed out on the island before us. I twist my lips as I mull over what we know for the millionth time, while Daya twists the ring in her nose, round and round. She's waiting on a call back to get the DNA results for the blood on the watch. We still never found out who sent me the envelope with all those pictures and the note. I mumble. I know, Daya says, dropping her hand and pursing her lips. That's so odd. I have no idea who it could have been. Just as I open my mouth, Daya's phone rings. She picks it up so fast you'd think it was sitting on a burning stove. Hello? She answers, clicking the button to put it on speaker. Yes, Daya Pearson? A woman's voice asks. This is her. She responds, anxiety making her eyes pinball around the room. She chews her bottom lip, the tiny gap between her front teeth on display, while I abuse mine just the same. Yeah, I got the results back pertaining to the sample you sent in. She pauses, and it feels like when a roller coaster crests the top of the hill. And just for a single second, you're suspended in time before you go crashing back to the ground. We did get a match. Genevieve Parsons. Brown eyes clash with green in a symphony of shock and excitement. Daya clears her throat. Perfect. Thank you, Gloria. I appreciate it. No problem. She chirps before the line disconnects. Mutual silence descends as Daya and I both process the new information. Holy fuck. Before I can fully process the information, Daya reaches over to her bag and pulls out a thick manila envelope. I had some testing and research of my own done. I went ahead and found a sample of Frank's handwriting in a police report and the note we found and sent it in to an analyst. Now, just to make you aware, graphology isn't always taken seriously in the name of science, but there have been cases where it held up in court. Regardless, I think it'll be good evidence to have. My eyes widen with excitement. Really? Let me see. She holds up a finger, signaling for me to wait. Also, remember how the serial number was illegible on the watch? When I nod, she continues. I have a friend that's pretty good at deciphering shit like that, and he thinks he got a match. This, Addie, is where the real evidence is. If we confirm it's Frank's watch that had Gigi's blood all over it, and if the handwriting is a match, that's sufficient evidence to prove that Frank was the murderer. And she bites her lip. I wanted to wait to open the email with you, so you ready? I nod my head eagerly, impatience ballooning in my chest. She opens the envelope first and slides out the results. Laying them flat on the island, we both nearly bonk heads in our pursuit to read them. Concerning the 2 samples provided, it has been determined that the handwriting... Oh my God! It's a match! I squeal, almost breathless from excitement. Daya grins, giddy with her own excitement. Okay, now for the real test. She slides her laptop closer, her email already pulled up. She clicks on an unopened message.
Daya, I checked into the serial number like you asked. It was pretty fucking difficult. Whoever scratched that number did it pretty good, but not well enough to get past me. The serial number was tracked down to a buyer by the name of Frank Williams. Hope this helps, James.
Oh my God! I shout, nearly jumping out of the seat with excitement. Holy shit! Daya breathes, her expression full of shock and awe. He did it! It was fucking Frank! He was in love with her, and he must have found out about Ronaldo and killed her in a fit of anger. I conclude, nearly stumbling over my words. Daya whips around, grabbing the bottle of Grey Goose sitting on the counter. This calls for a celebratory shot. We can finally bring justice to Gigi. Even if Frank is dead, at least the world will know that he was a piece of shit. I grin, a weird mix of emotion clogging my throat. I'm thrilled that we solved her case, but I'm also sad. And I'm struggling to pin down why exactly. This murder investigation consumed a large part of my life for the past several months, and letting it go almost feels like losing a small piece of myself. We still don't know who hid the watch, I muse before taking the shot. My face screws up from the taste. I don't care what anyone says. Alcohol tastes like shit when it's not mixed with something. I will die on that hill. But I do relish in the burn as it slides down my throat and settles in my stomach. Fire blooming and warming me from the inside out. I scoot the shot glass back to her, signaling another. Daya glances at me, and what looks like shame is clouded in her sage eyes. What? I ask flatly. She points towards my refilled shot glass before shooting hers back. I follow suit. This time it feels like this shot is to gain courage, for what apparently only Daya knows. So, Frank's note wasn't the only one I sent in. Daya starts, hesitation prominent in her expression. Her hand lifts to fiddle with her nose ring, but she catches herself and twists her fingers together instead. Okay, I say, narrowing my eyes in suspicion. She's being weird, and not the kind of weird that involves us taking our pants off and dancing to I'm a Barbie Girl at 3 o'clock in the morning while drinking boxed wine. That's only happened once, but we both woke up the next morning with regrets. She sucks in a deep breath, and I'm tempted to tell her that we're sharing the same oxygen. She's not going to find any particles in there that will give her superpowers and make her brave. I'd know, because I want to run and hide from whatever she's about to say. She picks up the manila envelope and slides out 2 more pieces of paper. Shooting one last glance my way, she sets down the documents and we both read them over. One says it's a match, and another says no match. What am I looking at? The handwriting in the confession note matches your Nana's handwriting. She rushes out so quickly it takes several beats before I comprehend what she said. What? That's all I'm capable of uttering. She groans and pours another shot. This is for the confession note and a sample of your Nana's and John's handwriting. Okay, wait, I say, splaying my hands out. You had suspicions about my Nana being the one to cover up the murder? Her lips tighten into a hard line. Yes. I shake my head, at a loss for words. Why? She throws her hands up. Because it would have had to be someone that lived in this house, Addie. It was either John or your Nana. And your grandmother was attached to the attic, was she not? Where did you even get a hold of things with their handwriting on it? You put aside some old documents she had written on. I took pictures, and, well, John was a bit more complicated, but I managed to scrounge up a will he had written on. Why didn't you just tell me you were doing this? She sighs. Because I knew you'd have a bad reaction to it. I wanted to be sure of my suspicions before I ruined your day. Blowing out a breath, I nod. You're right. I concede. It makes sense. It sounds like I'm trying to convince myself, probably because I am. She stays quiet, giving me space to process the fact that my Nana helped cover up her mother's murder. She was forced to, I say finally, glancing over Nana's confession lying on the island, the note I had found in the attic after seeing what I think was Gigi's apparition. I don't move to pick it up, but I remember the words well. The quick scrawl on a piece of paper containing words of a young girl forced to cover up her own mother's murder. Your Nana was, 16 when Gigi was murdered? Frank obviously threatened her, and she felt she had no choice. He was a detective, for God's sake. Of course, she would have believed him. I nod, a frown marring my features. The fear Nana must have felt, and the absolute sickening feeling knowing she was helping Gigi's murderer. Jesus, I can't even begin to imagine how she must have felt. That's probably why she spent so much time up there, why she stayed in this house. She was probably punishing herself, forcing herself to stay in a house with such terrible memories as penance for helping cover it up, even if it wasn't her choice. I mean, who knows what was going through her head? God, Daya, she was always so damn bright and happy, but on the inside, she must have felt such dark things. Sympathy etches into the lines around Daya's frown. She lived a long, happy life, I'm sure of that, especially because she had you. The alcohol has started to kick in, creating a pleasant buzz in my head. It makes the revelation a little bit more bearable, but not enough to deter the stabbing pain in my chest. I'm heartbroken for Nana. She lived until she was 91 years old. 75 years carrying that weight on her shoulders. I wonder if Grandpa ever knew. He was a quiet man that loved Nana fiercely. I'd like to think he did and shouldered some of the weight for her. A memory sparks of about 2 years ago, a year before she had passed. Nana sitting in Gigi's chair, staring out the window at the rain. I was in town visiting her, and she looked so sad. What's wrong, Nana? You feeling okay? Yeah, baby, I'm fine. Nana's just tired. Why don't you lay down and rest? A small, sad smile graced her lips. Not that kind of tired, my love. But you're right, I'll go lay down for a bit. Another memory replaces that one of when I was about 12 years old. I was coloring at the kitchen island when I had asked her a seemingly innocent and random question. Nana, if you won $1 million, what would you buy? No money in the world could buy me what I truly want, Nana says, a teasing grin on her face. Well, what do you want? Her smile drops just for a second, too quick for my 12-year-old brain to think much of it. Peace, baby. All I want is peace. I go to bed that night just a little drunk and even sadder. I miss Zaid. He's off doing something dangerous tonight, some dinner party. I know he's there to save a little girl, but there's still that selfish part of me that wishes he were here. My instinct is to hate myself for it. Part of me still does. I don't know how long it's going to take before I fully accept the fact that I've started to fall for him, that I'm accepting him into my life. How long has he been stalking me for? 3 months? Not very long at all. In fact, that's such an insignificant amount of time, it almost makes me sick. There's still so much I don't know about him. What's his favorite color? Does he have allergies? I hope he's allergic to all my favorite foods so I don't have to share. Or at least I hope he doesn't like them. More for me. And I hope I don't like his favorite foods, because if I do, I'll probably eat off his plate too. He probably wouldn't mind. And that softens my heart into a pile of mush, because somehow a man that wouldn't care if I ate his food fell in love with me. That's so fucking cute. I flop onto my bed and groan. Daya left an hour ago. We spent the rest of the day working on our respective work. She let me be for the most part, while I stewed over the revelations. And after she left, I kept drinking until I stopped thinking about it. Tomorrow I'll regret it. I'm not even halfway through the next installment in my series, and I have a lot of readers pushing for it. The pressure always starts getting heavy when several months pass between releases. Whatever. Maybe Zaid will stop by and magically cure my hangover, since he's good at making me feel things that should be physically impossible. Especially when he arches his brow and that wicked grin graces his lips. I clench my thighs, a flood of arousal stirring between my thighs. My breathing escalates just with the memory of one look, and I'm melting. How is that possible? I kick off my leggings, a burning sensation in my stomach spreading until it feels like I'm drowning in a pit of flames. A flush is already forming in my chest, and I know pretty soon it'll start creeping up my neck. Next, I rip my t-shirt over my head, leaving me in only my matching bra and panty set. It's white and silky, and that insane part of me wishes Zaid was here to see it. He'd probably think I look so innocent, an angel and a demon, forbidden but drawn to each other anyways. That could be a book, based on the attraction between two opposite souls. Biting my lip, I snake my hand down the front of my underwear, the tip of my finger scarcely brushing across my clit. The contact is so light, but yet has electricity zipping through my veins. I close my eyes, releasing a shaky breath, and I pretend that Zaid is kneeling before me, ordering me to touch myself for him, to show him what I do when he's not here. My heart pounds heavily in my chest like a basketball on a court. I slip my fingers further down, dipping the tip into the pool of wetness that has gathered. I'm embarrassingly wet. Licking my lips, I plunge my 2 fingers inside, a moan falling from my lips as my body seizes with pleasure. Zaid's deep, bottomless voice whispers in my mind of all the dirty things he's growled in my ear. All the words that have stopped my heart in my chest. My redemption will become your salvation. I was convinced he would be my damnation, but at this moment, it feels like I've walked into paradise, nirvana. Just like he said when his tongue was plunged deep inside of me, like my fingers are now. I moan louder, the crescendo building as the image flickers to Zaid sitting behind me in my car, feasting on me. No, drinking from me like a dying man deprived of water. The pleasure builds as I swirl my sopping fingers up to my clit and rub the sensitive bud in tight circles. My head kicks back as my spine curves, panting out breathless moans. I circle my clit faster and harder until I'm nearly chasing the orgasm. And finally, I tip over the edge. I yelp loudly, calling out Zaid's name as the orgasm crashes through me quickly and without remorse. It's over before I'm able to regain my breath. Slumping, I heave out a sigh, the corners of my lips pulling into a frown. My body is languid and boneless, but my chest, it's tight still. That orgasm was only a temporary reprieve, and I realize that the weight isn't going to go anywhere. Tonight, I'm just sad. May 18th. 1946. The face of death is petrifying, but it's the only thing I see these days. He won't leave me alone. I've pleaded with him, begged for my life. I'm a mother. He can't take me away from my child. She needs me for God's sake. I don't know what to do. If I tell the police, will they believe me? Or will they believe him? Someone that is obviously dangerous and has incredible connections. I have no chance. How did my life turn out this way? And how could he do this to me? I trusted him.
Chapter 39. The Shadow. You eat meat raw? I question, the deep note of my tone traveling across the table. Everyone quietens. If these fuckers are actually planning to consume her, I'll... Well, of course not, Daniel booms, laughing at what he probably considers a stupid question. A sacrifice must be made first. Then we mark ourselves in her blood while giving thanks to the eternal rebirth. Now what happens after is up to everyone's desire while the body is still warm. We don't get to have fun with her first? I interrupt, my voice deepening with disappointment. That's half the fun, brother. Really, I can't stand to hear him speak anymore, especially after something so fucking sick. Eyes shift, glancing at each other, waiting for Daniel's response to my demands. He stares at me, a slight smile on his face. I cock a brow, waiting for my answer. When I do, Daniel laughs, a pleasant surprise radiating from his face. My own is serious, eyes never straying from Daniel's. He breaks eye contact first, looking over to where the servant is holding the scared little girl. Bring her here. I rest back in my chair, my movements languid and relaxed. On the inside there's a war raging, the battlefield in my gut bloody and vicious. I want to tear this entire house down, shredding every sick individual in here with only my hands and teeth. I'll show them what it feels like to be eaten by a monster. The servant hurdles the girl forward, consistently shoving the girl forward due to her digging her little heels in. She knows something bad is coming. But what she doesn't know is, I will do everything in my power to stop that from happening. When the girl reaches us, my hand snaps out, gripping the girl's tiny wrist in my hand. Her wide eyes jerk to mine, and what I see in them nearly breaks my heart. Her eyes are swirling with sorrow and fear. It's an expression no child should ever wear on their face. What's your name? Dan scoffs, but I ignore him.
Sarah,
she says quietly, her voice mousy. I want to hurl her into my chest and run out of here, but I think we both know that's not possible. Sit on my lap, Sarah, I order firmly. Reluctantly, she listens. Her eyes drop as she climbs on my lap, but I don't miss the tears welling in her eyes beforehand. The sick feeling grows more potent as I help her up, keeping her body at my knees with one hand high on her back and my other on her knees. Areas that are not sexual but will be perceived as dominating to the others. I'd prefer not to touch her at all. She's viewing this as something predatory, but I feel safest with her close when there's a bunch of adults eyeing her like she's their next meal. I force a predatory smile on my face and lean in, my lips at her ear, and whisper so only she can hear. You're safe with me. Keep quiet. Dan observes the interaction closely, a hint of displeasure in his eyes. From his vantage point, he wouldn't have been able to read my lips, and he's not the type of man that appreciates secrets being told in front of his face. Sarah is smart. She doesn't react, doesn't nod or speak. She just continues to look at her clasped hands, tremors racking her petite body as if she's in the middle of a snowstorm. I look up at Daniel. Am I expected to have an audience, or can I enjoy her elsewhere? I ask, looking at the girl with anticipation. He will think I'm anticipating all the ways I'm going to hurt her, but in reality I'm picturing little Sarah being carried away by Ruby while I poise his head over a knife. Dan's mouth quirks at the look on my face, his expression softening back into ease once more. I'm a damn good actor. I'd never survive in this field of work otherwise. We would love to watch, Dan says smoothly, leaning back in his own chair, while one hand snakes under the table. I can't see what he's doing from my angle, but I don't need to in order to know that he's squeezing himself. I'm going to enjoy killing him.
Please take me home.
Sarah cries, the dam bursting as tears spill over her lashes and down her cherub cheeks. I wipe the tears from her cheeks, silently praising her for flinching away from my touch, even though it makes me feel like my insides are in a dumpster fire. Don't cry, sweetie, I coo aloud. She cries harder, and my heart blisters from the fury. Dan licks his lips with unrestrained hunger, reaching over to do what? I don't know. My hand that's wrapped around her neck whips out, grabbing his hand with a firmness that has him instantly freezing. I don't share, I growl, letting some of the pent-up anger loose. Dan jerks his hand away, raising them in the air in surrender. Possessive, he chuckles, glancing at the guests. Embarrassment flashes in his eyes, but it's gone before it can truly settle. That just might come back to bite me in the ass. Dan also isn't the type of man that takes well to public humiliation. Not that I'm truly concerned with the backlash. He'll be dead soon anyways. While Dan's eyes cast over the dinner table, I slyly press the button on my watch, keeping my hands under the table. By the time his eyes are drifting back to me, my hands return to their previous position. Please, proceed, brother. He tacks on at the end, the word said with an inflection of challenge. I flash a feral grin, not holding back in the slightest. His eyes heat at the sight, likely assuming that he's about to get a show of a lifetime. Before either of us can move, a loud banging on the front door startles us both. A muffled, indiscernible shout follows. Dan's eyes look towards the front of the house, brow furrowing in confusion. Who the hell would dare? He mutters under his breath, aghast that someone is nearly breaking down his front door. Panicked, hushed whispers rise from the group, the guests turning to each other with fearful gazes. Daniel, I snap, catching his attention. I don't want to wait much longer. Of course, I'll be sure to hurry. He placates, appearing more flustered as others from the table continue to speak their concern and discomfort. Another loud crash startles the group, and then seconds later a booming crash sounds, causing the guests to jump. Some even rise from their seats ready to bolt. And then, FBI, get down on the ground, now! The rest of the guests jump up now, myself included. Gently I set Sarah down beside me, but hold on to her arm firmly as the room breaks out into chaos. The dinner guests scatter like ants, screams and shouts bouncing around the room. The door to the dining room crashes open, eliciting more screams. Several FBI agents storm the room, shouting out demands for everybody to get down. Let's go, I whisper to the girl, attempting to guide her towards the kitchen door. She struggles and screams for one of the agents, that dormant fire in her finally erupting. I'm so fucking proud of her. I pick her up and whisper in her ear. Those FBI agents are with me. I'm going to take you back home, but I need you to work with me. The second the word home leaves my mouth, her struggling ceases. She looks at me, her brown eyes full of tears.
You could be lying.
She sniffles, distrust in her eyes. Another surge of pride overtakes me as I stuff my hand in my pocket and pull out a fake FBI badge, flashing it to her discreetly. The first lie I've truly told her. She reluctantly concedes, nodding her head. I bolt towards the kitchen door, not wasting another second. In the chaos, no one will notice me slipping out. But if they do, it won't hurt my case with Dan. I plan on telling him I did exactly that. No one is in the lavish kitchen. If anyone were in here before, they probably ran when they heard the FBI break in. I slip out of the back sliding door, making my way across the massive porch and towards the stairs. The cool air is a balm to my heated skin. This suit is confining. I much prefer my jeans and hoodie to this shit.
Are you going to take me back to my mommy and daddy?
Sarah asks quietly. Her soft, sweet voice is almost a shock to my system. Adrenaline has been coursing through my veins steadily since the moment she was brought into that room. The chemical won't dissipate from my body until she's off this property. I am, I promise gently. Her hand lifts, her tiny finger tracing one of the scars on my face.
Does this hurt?
Not anymore, I say quietly, suppressing the urge to lean away from her touch. I'm not used to anyone touching my scars. When Addie did, it felt like fire lacing across the dead skin. Now, with Sarah, it feels a tad uncomfortable, but not unbearable.
Did the bad guys that took me do this to you?
Not the same bad guys, but bad guys all the same. She seems to think that over, digesting my words slowly. She blinks at me and wipes away some snot leaking from her nose.
Do you know if Mommy and Daddy are alive?
I nearly trip over my feet when she asks the question. Considering I didn't know the girl's identity beforehand, I haven't had a chance to look into her background. I've no idea who her parents are or what kind of home she comes from. Is there a reason you think they wouldn't be? I ask. I make it to the meet-up spot outside of view of any cameras and the front of the house where Dan is. Her eyes drop, long lashes fan across her chubby cheeks, still damp from her tears.
I don't know where they are,
she says simply. When was the last time you saw them? She shrugs her little shoulders and says,
I don't know.
I sigh, giving in to the urge and rolling my neck to ease some tension. Ruby should be here soon to take care of Sarah while I finish up business. Soon the agents will lug Dan and anyone else out to be taken down to the station on false charges. They're false agents to begin with, hired by myself. Luckily, I have a few high-ranking FBI agents in my pocket, which is the only thing that made this night possible. They'll bring Dan down to the station on suspicion of smuggling drugs. They will release him by tomorrow morning when they don't find anything. Dan will insist the FBI agents responsible be fired, and considering no real agents were involved, the fake ones will be easily let go of. False paperwork will be filed, and Dan will be satisfied. Or as satisfied as you can be when your dinner party is interrupted by your front door getting kicked in. How old are you, Shortcake?
5.
She chirps. I'll try to find your mommy and daddy, okay? If I can't, I'll make sure you're safe. She nods her little head, her brown eyes now latched back onto me.
Then will you be my daddy?
Fuck. Can't say I've ever been asked that one before. I force a smile. Adoption isn't out of the question, but that's something I'll have to consult with Addie first. She'd be her mommy after all. Before I can answer, Ruby is sneaking up to take Sarah off to a safe place. Ruby stays silent, understanding how dire the situation is. When she approaches the small child gripping onto my hand, she whispers to her quietly, urging her to come with her so she can make sure she's safe. Sarah hesitates. You can trust her, I say softly. Sarah looks up at me with massive brown eyes, and fuck, I'm a puddle of ice cream.
Will I see you again?
Swallowing, I nod, incapable of giving a verbal answer. Sarah is satisfied, though, and allows Ruby to lead her off into the night. Before they completely disappear around another house, Sarah turns her head and gives me one last look. I'm a goner. Just as they round the corner, an FBI agent comes up behind me and grabs my arm roughly. Thought you could sneak away? I laugh quietly, even as he jerks both my arms behind my back and slaps handcuffs on them. Roughly, he leads me up back towards the front of the mansion where Dan is still loud-mouthing the agents and demanding his lawyer. Got a runner, the agent attached to me calls out. Dan pauses mid-tirade to look over at us. I can't be sure from this distance, but it almost appears as if Dan's face goes lax with relief for just a moment. He has nothing to do with anything, Dan says, his face tightening once more with anger. Yeah, okay, buddy, the agent snorts from behind me. I'm actually surprised by the fact that Dan is trying to defend me. Why am I even being arrested? I snarl, feigning anger. You tried sneaking off during an FBI raid. That's grounds for suspicion. I'm terribly sorry about this, Zach, Dan cuts in. This doesn't involve you. I shrug a shoulder, the movement awkward against the cuffs. Skay, these assholes will be fired by morning, I say with a shit-eating grin. Dan scoffs and corrects me. By the end of the night. Yeah, whatever, fuckers. Get in the car before I accidentally smash your head off the car on the way in. I twist in my binds. What's your name? The agent grins. Michael? Well, Michael, I hope you don't mind shitting out teeth because you're about to eat them. Michael laughs, a glimmer in his eyes. Dan starts up again when another agent leads him into the back of a cop car. His rant is cut off by the slam of the door. Get in the goddamn car, Z. I am hungry, but it's not from my teeth. Chuckling, I comply.
All right. Oh, and that's it for that one. My goodness. Today was a bit of a shorter episode. The thread didn't take up as much of the episode as it normally does, but we were able to get through those 2 chapters. 2 interesting, very, very interesting chapters. We're coming to the conclusion for Gigi's murder and all that nonsense, and it's making Adeline feel a little empty, you know? Yeah, but we didn't get too much as far as on the side of Zaid's, escapades and all that kind of stuff, but it's still interesting nonetheless. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. It's going to be a bit of a short one, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Haunting Adeline. Like I said, we're almost done with this book, so let me know down in the comments, or let me know on socials, whatever it is. Let me know if you guys want to continue this book. I believe there's a book 2. If there is, we can do that. If not, if there is another book you guys want to do, let me know that as well. So without further ado, though, patreon.com/MyLastPodcast. Get on there for the exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your episode or your scenarios to be featured on the Tuesday, Sunday episodes. If you're a primary audio listener, keep downloading the podcast, rating it 5 stars, as well as following us on Instagram as well as TikTok. Help more on the free 99 side. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Love you all, and I'll see you later. Peace.